dismiss history at our peril.
Liberty Nation Radio with Mark Angelides.
Hello and welcome to Liberty Nation Radio, heard coast to coast on the Radio America Network. I'm your host, Mark Angelides. On today's edition, we are talking what's come out of the big, beautiful bill in favor of gun rights. We'll also be talking what's coming down the legislative pipeline and what is truth. All that and more on today's show. Please remember, Liberty Nation is sponsored by LibertyNation.com, where you can access podcasts, breaking news analysis, and a range of biting and brilliant shows to whet your appetite for freedom and your fondness for the great American Constitution. And you're on Liberty Nation Radio, heard coast to coast on the Radio America Network. I'm your host, Mark Angelides. We're very fortunate to have with us Liberty Nation's editor-at-large, man of infinite knowledge, Mr. Jim Fite. How are you, Jim?
Oh, I'm doing all right. My infinite knowledge is feeling less infinite than usual, but I'll do my best.
Well, we're only looking for infinite insight today rather than knowledge.
That I can give you.
Let's see how we go with that. So the big news of the last few weeks has been the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that got signed into law by President Trump on Independence Day. Now the ramifications of that rollout are just starting to be felt, I think, although the lawsuits are coming in fast and furious. By the way, Fast and Furious, not just a movie title for those of you who want to go down the illegal firearms Barack Obama route.
Oh boy, that's a throwback.
That's one back in the day. But so everybody's wondering, I'm wondering certainly, and I hope I'm not alone in this, this is quite a legislative accomplishment for Donald Trump. And the reason he put it together, tried to get Congress to put it together in one big, beautiful bill, is that he might not have the power after 2026 midterms. So he wanted to get the main bulk of his legislative agenda through while Republicans still control the House and the Senate. But there's plenty of time left before the midterms. So what's on the legislative docket coming up? Is there anything that would appeal to the liberty-minded folk out there, or is there anything that would be a bit of a worry for liberty-minded folk out there that we can see coming down the legislative pipeline?
Well, Mark, the big beautiful bill has been kind of the central focus for like 6 months now. But then now that that's out of the way, Congress has remembered. Let me think about it. It seems like they finally remembered. Isn't there this country over in Europe that's having some problems with their neighbors?
Like all of them?
Yeah. No, so Ukraine and Russia is finally back on the Congressional docket. It's just funny to me. It kind of reminds me of the meme where, you've got somebody helping somebody else from the pool, but then there's a chair with a skeleton down at the very bottom, and you label it appropriately. It's like Ukraine and Russia has been the chair at the bottom of the pool until now. But anyway, so Congress is working on a new round of sanctions against Russia.
Okay.
That, according to Senate Majority Leader John Thune, has roughly 80 supporters. I mean, it should pass the Senate at least fairly quickly. They're just waiting on Trump's word, for him to say go, basically. And but also there's word of some legislation in the works, and we don't really have any details yet because this is being hashed out between the White House and Congress. That's supposed to empower the president to hit Russia a little harder somehow, put a little more pressure. That's super vague, and I have no idea what that's actually going to flesh out to be. But that's so I've been looking into this actually, and it seems that Donald Trump is a little annoyed with Vladimir Putin, at least at the time of recording, in terms of his unwillingness to come to the table with at least reductions on what's happening between the two countries. And my guess is, I might be completely wrong, time might prove me completely wrong on this, but it seems that sanctions and diplomatic pressures that have been applied so far have been fairly lightweight, but
the entirety of Congress pretty much has been against expanding those. And I think what it takes is actually the president to say, this is what we want to do. Because obviously this has been an ongoing war for years now.
Oh, yeah.
And there was, under Joe Biden, we had a lot of tough talk. Not tough enough to retaliate.
Plenty of red lines.
Plenty of red lines. Well, everybody remembers Barack Obama's lines in the sand with Syria that really were. It kind of puts proof to the term lines in the sand, because you can just scuff those out.
I was just about to say, the thing about lines in the sand is, I mean, even the wind will blow those around.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I think we can pretty confidently predict that there's going to be some kind of increase in pressure and sanctions. And now that will be aimed chiefly, I would imagine, at Russia's ability to operate financially in global markets. So we've got that coming to look forward to, or not look forward to, depending on.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
Another thing, and this actually kind of, and it shouldn't have, because we do this every year, but it kind of caught me by surprise, because I mean, you know, the Big Beautiful Bill Act is more or less a government funding bill. So you kind of take for granted, like, oh, okay, that's government spending then for the year. No, it isn't.
No.
They're working on congressional Republicans are trying to push a almost $9.5 billion rescission bill now. That's the codifying the DOGE cuts, and now there's talk of okay, well, this is threatening government shutdown, and because September 30th is rolling around, the end of the fiscal year. And so next year's budget, or a continuing resolution, which is something like next year's budget, is going to have to be passed by then, or we've got this whole same song and dance of, shutdown. Or
it's amazing that comes around so regularly, and we still treat it as, oh, this is an aberration, when it's really not. It's beyond an aberration. It's the new normal.
Everyone acts surprised. Oh, no, we're out of money. How'd that happen?
What a shock.
Nature of government funding.
Yes, and here's the thing. That's due in, I guess that starts in September, right? And things can be funded. Is it through to, I might have this wrong, through to December with without reaching a full government shutdown?
Well, it depends.
Yes.
The end of the fiscal, whatever they have it funded through, which I think is September 30th. When that day hits, if nothing else has happened, then they're, quote unquote, out of money. They're not actually out of money, and everything isn't going to necessarily shut down on October 1st. But, not that everything is going to shut down anyways. It's not how so-called shutdowns actually work. It would probably save us a lot of money if they actually did. But
there's an argument for it, right? There's sorry, on that note.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ireland went, I think it was 2 years without actually having a government in place, and things seem to run pretty well.
Yeah, imagine that.
I know, it's shocking, right? It's almost as though, was it Ronald Reagan who said the solution to government problems is not more government?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to look very hard to find government solutions to problems that were created by government solutions to problems that were created by government solutions.
It's the infinite regression, or the turtles all the way down theory. So that's something fun to look up for our listeners.
You could, right? I guess for some folks you can call it job security.
Sure.
But anyway, so that's going to be, that's they can pass a continuing resolution, which is what's been happening here lately, to kick the can down the road, maybe a few months, maybe, half a year, maybe a whole year. It depends. And eventually, I mean, we've all seen this movie before, right? Like they're going to draw it out to the very brink, to as far as they possibly can. There's going to be threats of shutdown. There might even be a short-term temporary shutdown. Something will get passed. Nothing will really change, except that it will cost us more money in the end. And, that's the cycle. That's how it's been going. And that's, it's what I expect to happen in the near future.
We're going to be talking something slightly more positive after this short break with Jim Fite. But don't go anywhere.
We dismiss history at our peril.
Liberty Nation Radio with Mark Angelides.